Hello, fellow Stoics. We've all had those moments when emotions roll in like waves, making you feel swept away with no way to fight them. Maybe it's when you're standing in a meeting, your heart racing, anger rising as someone interrupts you, disrupting your train of thought, or when a sudden decision from your boss leaves you feeling hurt, ignored. In those moments, emotions seem to take over. You're like a helpless passenger on a train driven by your own emotions. But stop for a moment and imagine if you could stand up and take control of that train, turning each storm into an opportunity to practice calmness, steadfastness. This is the core of Stoicism, not suppressing emotions, but mastering your actions, regardless of what's going on outside. Today, we're not just talking about controlling your emotions, but about how to turn this restraint into an art of living. An art that makes you memorable, respected, and unforgettable in the eyes of others. It's not easy, but nothing can stop you when you understand the quintessential principles left by great Stoic philosophers like Marcus Aurelius or Epictetus. Imagine facing daily challenges without letting your emotions cloud your judgment. Imagine being able to stand in the midst of chaos, unmoved, unswayed by short-term emotions. That's true strength. In this video, we'll explore 10 daily habits of Stoicism. Each one a building block for a solid foundation for your mind and spirit. These are not just book philosophies, but practical techniques that you can apply immediately to your life, helping you turn every situation, every difficulty, into an opportunity to practice patience and maturity. And before we begin, I have a small task for you. Leave a comment below with words that describe the emotions you want to conquer tomorrow. Try to think about the feeling of mastery you want to have, the calm you want to achieve when facing the next challenge. Short, concise, but capture the spirit of what we will explore today. It will be interesting to see how many of you participate, and who knows, you may be the one who inspires this community. Let's explore how we can sharpen our thinking, hone our emotions, and remember, each principle is an important piece to help you master the art of living powerfully. Unforgettable. So don't miss any of it. Each piece of advice could be the key to unlocking true control and freedom in your life. It's not an easy task, but if you want to truly master yourself, the first thing you need to understand is your emotional nature. Think of your emotions as an alarm clock. When you feel scared, angry, or happy, they're not saboteurs, they're natural signals from your brain. Emotions are like your best friend, but sometimes they're a little too aggressive, just trying to remind you of something, maybe a danger, a surprise, or sometimes just something you need to pay attention to. Here's an example. You're driving down the highway and suddenly another car cuts in front of you. Your emotions are running wild, your heart is racing, you want to scream and maybe chase after the other car. These are emotions of fear and anger, which are very natural responses to stressful situations. But what you need to understand is that you have control over your actions, no matter how strong your emotions are. You can choose to drive calmly, slow down, and stay safe, instead of acting on your immediate emotions. Emotions are not the enemy. Don't think that we need to suppress or deny our emotions. In fact, emotions are tools that we need to learn to use skillfully, like a sharp knife. If used correctly, it will help you prepare a delicious meal, but if used incorrectly, it can cause injury. The emotion of joy, for example, is also a way for the brain to celebrate small victories. Imagine completing a difficult task at work. The feeling of satisfaction is your brain's way of celebrating success. It is a natural reward that helps us feel that we have done the right thing. Finally, emotions also help us connect. When you share joy with friends, emotions connect people in a powerful way. That's why emotions shouldn't be seen as something to be suppressed, but instead learn to manage them intelligently. For example, when you're angry with someone, remember that you can choose how you react. Do you want to ruin the relationship by blowing it off immediately, or do you want to manage your emotions to preserve it? So, emotions are not your enemies. They're loyal companions. But whether you let them control you or not is entirely up to you. And you imagine one day, you're driving to work, feeling good, when suddenly another car cuts in front of you, almost causing an accident. What happens next? You may feel angry, irritated, and even yell in the car, even though the other driver can't hear you. That's a very real and powerful feeling, right? But stop and think. What really makes you angry? Is it the car, or is it how you perceive it? The Stoic answer is simple. It's not what happens that hurts you, it's how you perceive and react to it. The event itself is just a neutral event. It's just a car cutting in, nothing more, nothing less. But you, by your reaction and perception, have decided that it's worth getting angry about. Your ego feels offended, and from there, the negative emotion explodes. Think of our emotions as a vase. If we keep pouring more emotions into it without knowing how to control it, it will soon overflow. Stoics are not cold, emotionless people. They feel emotions just like everyone else, but they understand one thing. Emotions should not control us, we should control them. Here I will use a more familiar example. You are standing in a long line for coffee early in the morning, and someone unexpectedly cuts in front of you. What would be your natural reaction? You would probably feel annoyed, even angry. But the Stoic philosophy will teach you a different approach. Instead of letting emotions rule you, focus on what you can control, your own actions. Others may cut in line, but you can choose not to let it ruin your day. Emotions are a natural part of being human, but the Stoics understand that we have the power to control how we react to them. You can't stop the world from happening around you, but you can adjust how you perceive and deal with it. And that is what really determines happiness or unhappiness. So next time you find yourself in a similar situation, instead of letting your emotions explode, try stopping and thinking, is this really worth getting angry about? If not, then let it go. Emotions are not the enemy, but how we let them control us is the thing to watch out for. What does Stoicism teach you? Control your emotions. Yes, control what's going on inside, even when the outside is chaotic. Marcus Aurelius, in Meditations, said, "You can control your mind in the face of all the turmoil." He wasn't just talking. Thousands of years ago, Marcus emphasized that you can't control the world, but you can control how you react to it. And today, this lesson is still true, not outdated. Think about it. Something bad happens, someone irritates you, emotions flare up, you want to react immediately, but slow down. Seneca once said, "Anger is a madman." Yes, anger clouds reason. What Seneca said centuries ago is still true today. Stoicism teaches you to master your emotions. They don't tell you to suppress them, but to guide them. As Epictetus advised, it's not the things that bother you, but your view of them. That's the secret. We all have emotional storms, but if you remember the words of Marcus or Seneca, you'll see that the storm doesn't control you. The world out there may be crazy, but inside you, reason is stronger. You control it. Stoicism doesn't teach you to be emotionless, it teaches you to be in control of everything in life. Now that we're talking about stimulus and response, there's a moment where you can pause. A subtle space that few people notice. That moment is like a door opening, allowing you to choose what you're going to do next. Don't let your emotions dictate your every action. Emotions, no matter how strong or sudden, don't have the power to control you unless you let them. Sometimes when someone upsets you, you immediately want to respond, right? But if you just pause for a second, don't act hastily, you'll realize that you have control over everything. You're not a slave to your emotions. You're in control. You choose how to act, you choose how to react. And that's real power. Many people often act on instinct, letting their emotions override their reason, but not you. You can choose to act the way you want, without letting your emotions guide you. That doesn't mean you ignore your emotions, it just means you don't let them take over your entire life. Your life is in your hands, not in the hands of anger, anxiety, or any other emotion. My wonderful Stoics, we're halfway through this video. If you're still here, it means that what I'm sharing is really touching your heart. And if you haven't liked or subscribed to our channel yet, I'd really appreciate it if you could do so now. Your support is truly a great source of motivation, helping us continue to create meaningful content just for you. And now it's time to really get to work on controlling your emotions. Did you know that emotions are the easiest to explode, but the hardest to control? But don't worry, there are simple yet incredibly effective techniques to help you regain control before your emotions take over. First, start by taking deep breaths. Sounds familiar and easy, right? But But don't underestimate it. Just a few deep breaths can calm your nerves and help you get out of a stressful state in an instant. Try it. Take a deep breath, hold it for a few seconds, then slowly exhale. You'll feel the difference immediately. This isn't just a physical exercise, it's also a way to clear your mind of the storm of emotions that's brewing. Next, pause before you react. The moment you're about to say or do something that's under the influence of emotion, think, do I really need to react right now? Often, we can avoid a lot of trouble just by giving ourselves a few seconds to think. Instead of reacting immediately, let your rational mind speak first, which not only puts you in control of the situation, but also gives you the opportunity to respond wisely. And here's the fun part: reframing the situation. Instead of looking at things through a negative lens, try changing your perspective. You can see the situation as a challenge, a lesson, or even an opportunity to practice patience. This not only helps you regulate your emotions, but also turns bad things into opportunities for personal growth. Whatever it is, try asking, is there a more positive way to look at it? Finally, act based on your values, instead of being guided by your emotions. We all know that emotions are fickle, but your core values are not. Ask yourself, what are my values? How can I respond in a way that honors them? When you act on principles, you will feel much stronger and more stable, instead of letting your emotions pull you in all directions. Controlling your emotions is not about suppressing them, but about mastering how we react. Practice, and gradually you will find yourself becoming calmer, clearer, and stronger in the face of life's challenges. This is the time to take control of your life, starting with controlling your emotions. When you choose to act instead of let your emotions guide you, you not only improve your relationships, but you also become stronger in your decision-making. Have you ever noticed that when emotions take over, we often act impulsively and then regret it? That's when we lose control. But when you choose to think carefully and act intentionally, you take back control. Not everything is in your hands, but how you react is always your choice. And here's the beauty: you start to build resilience, not just mentally, but in all aspects of your life. Imagine when challenges come. Instead of getting caught up in emotional turmoil, you can stand tall, analyze the situation, and act clearly and intelligently. Every decision you make will be based on clear thinking, not tied to temporary emotions. Have you noticed that when you act instead of reacting emotionally, you feel much more confident and calm? That's the power of taking control of your life. Instead of letting your emotions spin you around in a maze with no way out, you take the reins and walk with confidence. This choice not only makes you feel more in control of your life, but it also opens up a positive and powerful path for you to confidently move forward. Now, let's talk about 10 daily habits of Stoicism to control your emotions. How Stoics maintain their mind and calmness in the face of everyday challenges? Were they born that way? The answer is no. It's all about practicing simple but incredibly effective habits, a little bit every day, to build mental strength. 1. Mindfulness. We can't control what happens around us, but we can control how we respond to it. This starts with observing your thoughts and emotions without judgment. Try stopping in the middle of the flow of life, listening to yourself and asking yourself, where is this emotion coming from, and how will I choose to react? Don't be so quick to judge. Just observing, you're already in control. 2. Emotional diary. How many emotions do you have in a day? Can you remember them? The habit of recording your emotions in a diary will help you understand yourself better. Try ending your day by writing down what you felt. This will not only help you escape the chaos of emotions, but also help you analyze and understand better what's going on inside. 3. Stoic challenge. Have you ever dared to face something that made you uncomfortable? Stoicism encourages us to do the hard thing every day. Take a cold shower, skip a meal, or do anything that is outside your comfort zone. Why? Because by overcoming these small things, you build up the mental strength to face the bigger challenges in life. This habit is a way for you to prove to yourself that you can endure and be more resilient. 4. Practice visualization. Imagine yourself in a difficult situation, perhaps an argument, a bad day at work, or an unexpected challenge. Instead of panicking or getting angry, practice visualization. That is, imagine yourself reacting wisely, calmly, and composedly. This helps you mentally prepare for real-life situations, and when they happen, you know what to do. 5. Make small decisions every day. Our lives are not shaped by big decisions, but by small choices we make every day. Choose to drink water instead of soda. Choose to read a page of a book instead of watching a meaningless video. These small decisions will accumulate into good habits and eventually shape who you are. 6. Gratitude. Take a few minutes every day to be truly grateful. It doesn't have to be anything big. It could be the warmth of waking up in a cozy room or the fact that you have a good friend by your side. By appreciating the small things, you will cultivate a peaceful mind and gratitude for life. 7. Get feedback from others. Stoicism encourages us to listen and accept feedback from others, rather than letting our egos take over. Ask for feedback from those around you, not to validate yourself, but to learn and grow. This will help you see the hidden corners that you never realized. 8. Learn from Stoic philosophy through reading books. Every day, spend at least 10 minutes reading books, especially works on Stoic philosophy. Books by Marcus Aurelius or Seneca not only help you understand more about this philosophy of life, but also inspire you to apply them to your daily life. 9. Mindfulness in interaction. When interacting with others, be completely present. Don't let your mind wander with other thoughts. Focus on the other person and the conversation. This will not only help you understand them more deeply, but it will also help you develop the ability to listen and interact sincerely. 10. Resilience in adversity. Life is never easy, and adversity will always come, no matter how prepared you are. Stoicism teaches that adversity is an opportunity for you to build mental strength and resilience. Instead of fearing or avoiding it, face it and see it as a lesson. These habits are not too complicated, but mastering them requires patience and daily practice. If you really want to control your emotions and become a better version of yourself, then start with these small things. They will help you not only overcome difficulties, but also live a more meaningful life. Thanks for watching, everyone. Keep those Stoic principles in your heart and character. Stick with it, and you will not only be on their minds tomorrow, but every day after that. Remember that the journey to being remembered is about enriching your own life and becoming a memorable person. Each principle we discussed today is a step towards building deeper, more meaningful connections, standing the test of time. Until next time, keep building the habits that make life truly memorable. Be strong, be resilient, and continue to shine with that unique Stoic grace. Your path to being unforgettable starts now, and I am so excited to see how you do it. Take care of yourself, and see you in the next video.